Hey guys, happy Saturday. Guys, I want to give you one of the biggest acting updates yet. So, okay, I know this was a while ago, so don't be angry at me, but I didn't know if I could tell you or not, and to be honest with you, I still don't know if I could tell you or not, but I'm gonna tell you because no one's told me. Like, I'm not allowed to tell you, so I'm just gonna go ahead and risk it for a chocolate biscuit and tell you, okay? I've got my first acting credit. Yeah! A bad girl. So, for those aspiring actors out there who live in the UK already know how much of a big deal this is already. I talked about it in my previous video and I'll leave a link above to that video if you want to watch it. But in order to get put onto Spotlight, which is basically this big casting directory in England, you have to be put onto Spotlight to be classed as professional. I talked about this a lot in my last video, but in order to do that you need 4 acting credits, and so this year I have made it my goal to get those 4 acting credits, so hopefully by the end of the year I could be put onto Spotlight. So I've gone and got my first acting credit. So back in December I got sent through a brief to do a self-tape for a Kenwood commercial. Now my face is not in the commercial, so you won't see this ugly mug in it, but these bad boys are. It's a hand commercial, so take a good look. Because if you see this on a Kenwood commercial, you know who they belong to. Yeah, so it was a hand commercial. To be honest with you, it was a bit weird to do a self-tape with just my hands. I never really used to pay that much attention to my hands, but by God, the way I looked after my hands, or the way I made my hands look in this self-tape, was hilarious. So I'll start all the way from the beginning. Get yourselves strapped in. You're about to enter story time. So, back in December, I just got sent a brief from an agent I'm working with who was helping me accumulate these credits. She sent me a brief for a Kenwood commercial, and I had to do a self-tape, and my brother very kindly helped film it with me, and it was really simple. It was basically just to make a smoothie of some sort, or to blend some vegetables if you had a blender, but if you didn't have a blender you could use like a NutriBullet and make a smoothie, and they just wanted to see a couple of actions of you chopping up some stuff, throwing it into the blender, using it, and then pouring it into a glass or a bowl or whatever you use. So I opted for a NutriBullet because I don't have a blender, and I made a smoothie, which I don't normally make. It was all a first for me, so my brother just helped me film some clips of me making a smoothie, and I sent it in, and I completely forgot about it. And then in January, in the new year of this year, I was at work. It was the 4th of January, and I got a call from the agent saying that I had booked the Kenwood commercial, which is absolutely amazing. But if you guys are from the UK, and if you can cast your memories back all the way to the 4th of January, you will remember that is also the same day Boris, good old Boris, decided to put the UK back into a national lockdown for the 3rd time. So on the same day as I got the most exciting news of my life, I also got told that the UK was going into another lockdown, which was definitely not in my favour, because the Kenwood commercial was in a couple of days. It was in 3 days time. It was on the 7th of January, so I got informed that I booked it on the 4th, and then I got told that I was going to be doing it on the 7th of January. However, so the next day was a bit of a faff for me. I was waiting all day to see if the commercial would go ahead or not, and I could just see my first credit walking out the door, and I was really upset about it. However, it did go ahead. They followed all COVID guidelines and procedures, and I managed to go to it on the 7th of January. So let's go to the 7th of January. So 7th of January, it's an early start. I wake up really early. I don't have a clue where I'm going, but I wake up really early. I get everything packed. They just told me to bring a couple of pieces, a couple of items of my own clothing, very plain, very neutral colours. So I did that, and then I got in my car about 7:30 and I drove to the destination. It was kind of based in this industrial site. I was the first one on site. It was January, so it was very dark. I couldn't see anybody. All I could see was just shutters everywhere, and I thought to myself, I'd convinced myself that I was in the wrong place, that I was going to miss the shoot, and that I would get blacklisted from all commercials. So I called my mum. I know, in a moment of need, I called my mum. I'm like, Mum, no one's here. And she's like, well, can you see anyone? And at this point, all I could see was a ambulance car and a paramedic inside. But I was like, I'm not going to go and ask the paramedic if I'm in the right place or not. Like, how would he know? And my mum was like, no, just go and ask. And I was like, psh, what does my mum know? Turns out she knows a lot, because that happened to be the medic on site. So due to COVID, there had to be a medic on site at all times, just making sure we were all following guidelines, that our temperatures were being checked regularly, and that everything was just safe and kosher, if you're Jewish. So I was the first one to arrive, aside from the medic, and then at about 8 o'clock, which was when everything was starting, everybody came, all the production team, all the camera crew, the director, they all pulled up. I did happen to be in the right place, which was amazing. And yeah, so everyone just got set up. It was actually really funny as well, because one of the crew member came up to me and they were like, you're Kumari Singh, right? I was like, yeah. And then he named the school I used to go to, my secondary school, and I was like, whoa, what kind of background checks are they doing on me? And he was like, no, I used to go, it's me, Tom, I used to go to school with you. I did not recognise him at all. He's got really long hair now, he's gone really tall, but it was so nice to see him, and it kind of made me feel a bit more comfortable to know that there was someone there that I kind of knew. But yeah, and it was so lovely to bump into him, and he was actually part of the production crew. Happy Productions, shout out to Happy Productions. Everybody was so lovely. And Tom also has a YouTube channel. He's called Thomas Buddin. He's got a great, amazing, funny YouTube channel, and you should definitely go and check that out because it's absolutely hilarious. So yeah, shout out to Tom. Yeah, so we got everything set up, and guys, I'll insert some pictures of, well, okay, so the thing was, I was very overwhelmed and very nervous because I didn't get given a script or anything. It was just a case of show up and they'll tell you what to do. So I didn't have a clue what I'd be doing. And I also didn't know if I was allowed to take any pictures of the set or of anything else. However, the medic, I kind of became good friends with him, and he went onto set and took a couple of cheeky snaps. He did ask and they said it was alright, so, and then he sent them to me, which was lovely of him. So I'll insert a picture of what the set looked like as they were setting up. Guys, this was amazing. Now, for those of you who also film in your house, in your bedroom, it's one thing filming in the comfort of your own home, and then another to be on an actual set with actual cameras, an actual, you know, backdrop, an actual kitchen, real props, you know, like it just made everything feel and seem so real. And it was amazing, and I was so excited. So the day got started, and I did my first take. Now it was me, I was one feature artist, and there was also another feature artist on set. However, we weren't on set together, we would alternate, so I would have a go back into the green room, and then she would come out and have a go, and it would literally work like that all day. But it was kind of basic stuff. So if you don't know, Kenwood is kind of like kitchen appliances, and we were filming blenders. Very exciting. And yeah, so it was just a case of like chopping up onions and throwing it into the blender and turning it on and making my hands look really nice, and then popping it into Tupperware and stacking it, and literally it was that all day. The amount of food I chopped was unreal, and it was a really long day, but it was very nice. Things did seem to run over, but that was absolutely fine. And so I said I got there at 8 AM and I got home at 9 PM at night. So as you can see, a very, very long day, but absolutely fine because I've got my first acting credit. And I know what you're about to say. Where can we see it? How do we see it? The answer is, I don't know. Apparently Kenwood is really big in a lot of foreign countries, so they said they're going to be airing the advert out in places like France and Germany and places like that. However, you know when you go on YouTube and loads of adverts come up, it could pop on there, but you've got to be really fast with your eyes to see it because it is a very quick advert, like a 10-second advert. It's crazy, isn't it, how it's a 10-second advert but it took like over 12 hours to film. That's insane, right? So you can tell how much work goes into everything, and it was so good to see how everything works, how everyone else works, what everybody's role is to do on set. It was just really interesting, a very lovely experience. I'm so happy that I did it, and that's the first acting credit in the bag. I haven't seen it yet, I haven't seen the commercial yet, but if I do, and whenever I do, I will definitely pop it onto my social media. So if you want to have a look, or if you want to stay tuned to see what it looks like or what it comes out like, please give me a follow on my Instagram at Kumari Singh, or you can follow me on Facebook, same name, or you can follow me on my Twitter, which is at Kumari Singh 12. But yeah, so the first one's in the bag. Since then, I have literally just been doing a lot more self-tapes, trying to audition for stuff, and I'm on my way, guys. So yeah, still quite a long way to go, but I've started the race and I'm in it, and I'm not gonna slow down. I'm gonna keep going, keep getting those acting credits, and I will let you guys know as and when I do. Just you know, doing this process, it seems very slow, and sometimes you almost feel like you're not getting anywhere, but when I look at where I am today compared to where I was last year or the year before that, no, I don't have a clue what I'm doing or how to do anything, but I'm just learning on the way, and I'm really enjoying the process, and that's what you've got to take from it all. Just enjoy what you do and the success will follow, hopefully. But yeah, so if you guys are also doing the same thing, let me know, and if you liked this video, please give it a like, a thumbs up, and please subscribe for more. But yeah, have a lovely rest of the weekend, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Mwah! Bye.